I had no idea what I was getting myself into. I saw an opportunity. I figured there's a need for this in Toronto, and it could work well for a lot of people that need some help. So let's just go for it and see what happens. And here we are.
Nothing really says Friday morning like a day full of toilets to do here.
You look around the city, I don't see big buildings anymore. I see big vessels of toilets.
Agents of Change is a program that CSI has been providing over the last 3 years with the intention of supporting and incubating early-stage social entrepreneurs. Recently, we launched our newest program called Agents of Change, Civic Innovation, where we looked for 10 organizations that were looking to make their city better.
When I started working on building up, I found that I was working harder than I had ever been working on anything else in the past, but I would still be in my pajamas all day. I think having a place to go to where other people are working on similar issues, it's important to have that network and then also have the network of that network. I heard about the Agents of Change program just from being around the space.
The type of things that we look for in the organizations that apply for Agents of Change are the opportunity for impact, how likely they are to succeed, and how much traction they've had to date. Ideas can only go so far. We're looking for the doers. We're looking for the people who are rolling up their sleeves and saying, I am an agent of change.
I saw an opportunity to start something and see what happens. So building up goes into affordable housing buildings, subs out old inefficient appliances, toilets, shower heads, and faucets with new ones that are going to save them a ton of water and save them a ton of money on their bills. And then we train and employ people living with other barriers to employment to carry out that retrofit with the idea of they're going to go into careers in plumbing afterwards.
Old buildings were not built with consideration, of course, of what our common needs and challenges are. And so toilets are this perfect example of something that there's so much opportunity to change and ultimately make a difference economically and environmentally and even socially. And there are endless of toilets in the city.
All right.
The reason that this specific program really struck a chord for me was that this is a huge opportunity. Everyone should be changing out their toilets, shower heads, and faucet aerators. It just makes sense from an economic perspective. And then it was a matter of saying, how do we use this business opportunity that's good for the environment to employ people and give them an opportunity to enter the careers in plumbing.
The water that fills up in the bowl, and then the water that's left here goes back into the bowl for your second flush.
People need jobs, people need opportunities, and increasingly what we're seeing now is social entrepreneurs not just finding solutions that solve issues around the climate or the environment. We're seeing people identify opportunities to employ marginalized individuals.
I probably wouldn't be here right now, you know, because I'll probably be selling drugs. And, you know, when you're selling drugs, weapons get involved. And I don't know, I'll probably still end up in jail for a longer time or even dead, who knows, right? It's always easy to fall into criminal activities, especially when you're going through hard times. We went through a recession a couple of years ago. If somebody tells you deliver this package or go pick up a payment or you know what I mean? So unless you have that support, either it be family, friends, community, you gotta be strong-minded, have that support and the will to wanna do better.
I think there's a lot of momentum around social entrepreneurship, and a lot of people are starting to realize that you could build causes that are important to you into capitalism, and you could work within the framework of the world and still do good for people.
There's a million products in this world or services in this world, and why does one person buy into one or the other? And often it comes from personal or social recommendation. That's really what we're helping the agents with, in addition to the space and the training and the peer support. What we're providing them is our social capital to ensure that they have doors open that would previously never be open to them if they weren't part of this program.
Joining the Agents of Change program with CSI is just another thing that gets you closer to legitimacy. They had us in the newspaper, they've connected us to magazines, and really that's what we need right now. We need people talking about building up and talking about ideas like building up and thinking about solving issues in new ways that make sense. The goal with building up, and we will get there, is to be self-sustaining so that the revenues generated from the work that we do to help these housing providers can fund the work we want to do with our participants so that the training can be funded by the business. Michael Bloomberg was awarded $1 million and he said, I don't need this money. I'm going to repurpose it and give it to 10 young groups of social entrepreneurs from around the world. Winning was, it was great. I mean, this money is going to do a ton of good for our organization and the people that it serves. And it really allows us to deliver the training that we'd like to deliver.
It's not surprising to me that Michael Bloomberg invested in Mark despite the fact that he's a Toronto-based entrepreneur, because Mark's solution has the opportunity to scale. What Mark's doing is really exciting because we all need toilets. And if those toilets can be part of the solution to how we environmentally and economically make our cities more resilient, then that's a great idea.
Me going through my trials and tribulation just gave me the opportunity to, be free, be out here, pursue this,
You can never forget it. Be like, you know what, I did some work there. Yeah, fix their thrones.
My goal is that building up grows into something more than toilet replacement programs so that we can do all sorts of trades work and train people who are having trouble accessing the labor market to do all sorts of different work.
People like Mark and other of our agents of change are so important because they're developing the solutions that we will need not just today, but tomorrow and for many years from now.